この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。It's especially crazy though, like especially when you like go around in like Tokyo, when you look around, there's like so many places where they just have like merch. So much merch. You take a turn and there's like a wall of Hangudons. And then you take another turn and it's like so much Super Mario. And then you go down the stairs and then it's like, whoa, Gojo Satoru. but that's how it was, you know? How was your wallet? Yeah, just girl math through everything, and we are all happy, you know? Yeah, like... Eventually, like... It kind of, like, evens out. With all the conversions, you know? Yeah, that's like the similar girl math that Vanta was doing when he was, like, really drunk. So one of the days, we went out karaokeing with a chunk of people who were there, and staff-san. We all went to karaoke, and yeah, some of us had a lot of drinks, and it got pretty late, right? So on the way back, we were like, "Oh, I guess it's too late. Let's share a taxi cab," because a bunch of us lived like really close from like each other. So like we were like, "Yeah, let's like share a taxi." So then we would do that kind of often too, because we would always miss the last train. Oh my gosh, guys, don't travel like us. Go back before the last train and wake up early. We can't do that somehow, but but yeah, we would like share taxi cabs pretty often. Well, sometimes we kind of had to like wake up and get to the studio on time, and sometimes the only way to get there on time is by taxi because of you know. Anyways, so what we were doing was we were sharing taxis a lot between all of us. So then, no, we didn't oversleep. We got there on time most of the time. But so what happened, right? So we would share taxis often, and then one day on the taxi back from the karaoke place, Vanta was like drunk, like, "Guys, I was just thinking of this thing. So, Shu, you paid for this taxi this time, but if you think about it, if we all pay for each other's taxis every time we ride, I don't think I have to pay you back because, you know, if I pay for half the rides and you pay for half the rides, we'll reach an equilibrium, right, guys? And then, if you pay for half the taxis and if I pay for half the taxis, eventually, we'll all pay the same amount." And he was saying that at the back of the car while I'm just sitting in the front being like, "Yeah." Like, yeah. That was what he sounded like. It was like, so, and then it's like, yeah, it's like equilibrium. If we all pay for it an equal chance amount of time, eventually we'll reach equilibrium, and we'll be able to have pay the same amount. Equal chance? I don't think it was an equal chance, but I mean, it kinda paying and trying to steal the bill all the time from each other. As a lot of things go. It's like, "Give me the bill. My bill. No, mine. Give me mine. Take the bill. No, mine. My credit card. No, I already paid with contactless. No, wait, no, mine." You know. Did you win once? Yeah, while Vanta and Wilson was like laughing their butts off in the side of the street, trying to I don't know why, trying to guess, you know, trying to convince us that we're not that they're not drunk. I would already like call the taxi on my phone. Crisis behavior. Of course it was them. Yeah. At this point, you're the mom of Crisis? No, I thought that was Zally. I thought Zally was the mom. And then Wilson and Vanta are like... Wilson and Vanta or Wilson and Vanta? What can I say? Shu君が日本のタクシー呼ぶアプリ使ってても驚かないです。Oh, so they're saying that they're not surprised that Shu uses uses his phone to call taxis. But really quick tip for those who decide to travel. I think it's limited to like some areas, but at least for Tokyo, for sure, you could just use the Uber app to call a taxi. Just the same way you get an Uber. Yeah, and it makes it really simple. And recently, but the Uber app is kind of limited to like which area you could go to, I think. But for at least from my experience, there's also the Go Taxi app. That app used to not support foreign phone numbers, but they support it now. At least for it works for American numbers at least. And yeah, and the app, like, you don't even have to like worry about the payment later. You just pay for it in the app too, like the same way you would pay for Uber. But I think Go Taxi works with more places than the Uber app. I think I could be wrong actually. I don't know how many of y'all would be traveling that far outside of Tokyo for sightseeing purposes, at least. Did the driver try to talk to you guys? Oh, yeah, so I think y'all know that some of us went to Kyoto. And in Kyoto, there's like a... So we went to Kyoto by Shinkansen, the bullet train. And when you get off at the station in Kyoto, I forgot which station it was exactly, whichever one that has the bullet train. They have taxis that are the normal taxi, and I guess they call it like the foreign friendly taxi, the English speaking taxi, or like taxi that's friendlier for people who are traveling. Because the taxi had more capacity to hold suitcases, and the drivers speak more English, I guess. They had a specific line for that in Kyoto. So because we had a lot of bags, even though I don't think my Japanese would have been, I think my Japanese was enough, but we had bags, so we decided to go on to the, you know, the travel-friendly, foreigner-friendly taxi because they had more capacity, and we all shared a cab together too for that too, you know, to go to our accommodation and stuff. Yeah, and then so the taxi driver, because before we go on the taxi, like the four of us, we were like obviously speaking English with each other, like me and Uki and the others. No, those taxis are too expensive. But no, we're not gonna haul around our suitcases up like Kyoto roads. So yeah, we put like our stuff in our bags in the bag, and we're like, yeah, oh yeah. And then we all go in, and then so I'm like, so like I sit in the front because, you know, I speak Japanese. And then the three, I forgot who else. Oh no, that was the... Y'all remember the tweet of like, I think it was Uki and like Y'all know the tweet, right? Vanta Uki Claude. Yeah. They had that taxi. It was that taxi. Yeah, that was a taxi. So they were all speaking English. I think it was that taxi. I'm pretty sure. But it was really funny because I was speaking English to them, right? And then suddenly, like, I do a switch around and, like, the driver was Japanese, so I would speak to them in Japanese. And they'd be like, oh, which way? Dotchi desu ka? I feel like I confused them more. Like, I try to speak in the language that they're probably more comfortable with speaking. You know? JP jump scare. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, every time I go on a taxi, I'm like speaking English with my friends, right? And then so like even after I told them where I was going in Japanese, because I'm speaking English with my friends, they assume that like they suddenly forget that I speak Japanese. And then and then I go back to speaking Japanese with them, and they're like, like it was so funny because like one time it was a different taxi ride, but like I tell them the location and I'm just talking in English with a friend, and then while I was getting off, he's like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, arigatou gozaimashita. And they're like, wakarimasu, mochiron. Hi. I'm like, oh yeah, you do know Japanese. Oh, you do? Oh, right. It happened more than once.
There's no sound in the background. This is so weird. I'm gonna play my Let's go.
Vanta's trying to raid, but it's not working out. Vanta's trying to raid, but it's not working out. All
right, it's working now. It's working now. It's working now. Now let's go raid.
Hey.